All right, very good evening and welcome aboard to the Podium show back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review everything all of motorsports on the local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene on this 10th day of March 2025. We're hoping that everything has shifted your way. From the last time we did run this show, as usual, tugamba koze mfuna mabirungi twebaza Katonda tumusaba tusako nebirungi ebirala kuba byetebigwayo then nabakyafunye obuzibuzibu. Better suit himself to make compare to Moko to living over better. At the Podium on FA TV, Neku 102.1 for every single Monday to what in the world of motorsport, local scene, African scene, as well as on the international scene. And you too can be part of this show by joining us using our various social media platforms, Facebook, X, or formerly Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, as well as is for media services, of course, remote TV, radio. So kwa program to go programs like FA TV 102.1 Fafama as well as no kubanga we akulaba live wanga uliza radio so genda ku mu Play Store or mu App Store no downloading app itiwa FA Media app and also kubanga uliza radio as well as no laba TV wona wosinziro kubanga uli across the entire world. The FA Media app also kubanga you downloading it from the Play Store or from the App Store, you definitely be able to watch FA TV as well as listening to 102.1 Fafama across the entire world. Kale, on this 10th day of March 2025, katsubiridenti what you plan to do this year. Mubikoze wamutandise kwa batana bitandika. Let's pray to God that watchireka bitandise, let's pray to him. Tuberenga tubi kwasanya. Baganda fabesera muntu bagaliza ekisibe kirungi. Mukitambuza ko ndoze naku 10. Katsubiridenti nakwesigadde ya 20 omugamba Katonda bakwakirako nebumusabe byonna aberenga abibatuusa. Ekikulu kyabena is the gift of life. Kale nze kesho manjuza program eno and we have a lot regarding the world of motorsport is concerned. The WRC Kenya Safari Rally is upon us. Countdown alabe bali mujikola. Abamenyo box bali mubumenya ababugatta babupanga balabe they can make it to that prestigious event. That contract of Kenya does expire in 2026, so what also do gena mwaka guno surely next year you must plan and be part of history. Bana babongedde good, very good. Bana tababongedde no so kubanga oberayo nti oli omu kwa abaliyo nga eggalawo Kenya eggalawo teniwayo kubanga hosting at the WRC Safari Rally. Of course it's third round of the championship ya soka ali France, then Nevada, Sweden. Bagenda Kenya, of course Elfin Evans akulembera the championship eyo ne 66 points. Back home we have a lot to negative unakola tugenda ku previewing the 2025 karting championship season in Uganda as well as the 2025 F1 season on the international scene, because the first round of the 2025 F1 season iri upon us this weekend in Melbourne. Definitely ya race times ne wezo kubango laba race eyo naye ekiko kyabyo nanti we have two gentlemen here, both of them so much deep into both sporting disciplines, omu trainer, omulala administrator naye ate bonna sport bazikwasaganya. Nano mukulu Emma Watenga, social secretary mu Formula Association of Uganda, nane mukulu wano IBRAHIM KYALUZI, who is a karting coach. At the same time, he's a man of many hats. It's his second time appearing onto this show. Nayenga Emma, first time to appear onto this show. We definitely have a blast regarding to this show. Then we pick it up from there.
Amanya gange nze Emma Watenga. It's good to be with you on the show. Kesh, Ibra, good to see you after a long time. Let's have a blast. Yeah.
Okay, prior to the show, okay, to what we were doing, Emma never get one off air and anything that we are on air. Okay, Ibra, so we'll find out what it is.
Kwebaza FA TV. Olw'ebirungi byekola okuteekawo shows ne digesting emizannyo gyonna. Naawe nkwebaza Kesh okunkyaza okuba nti nno nzija tunnyonnyole bingi bye tugenda okwogerako mu karting ne mu Formula 1 bategama tubawulirize.
Ubwo ndumukwatiriza dda kusaawe agakuyitamu naye ngasoko okole show malo yitemu kati nawa malira wano. Ibra, thanks for sparing time and joining us by the way. Mid this your tight schedule naming the job as well as Emma nena Mugambye naga it's a bit but he managed to fix some time to come and join us and we digest a lot. Okay, before we delve into today's topical discussions, in Wanemengo abadde ku FA TV before this show, legendary El Hadji Diouf yachala mu ggwanga yali yajja no kutwaza over the weekend. Nasoka namulaba nze Nakivubo, where the Teen Cranes were playing the team ya Kenya under 17 qualification ya World Cup. Unfortunately, we lost that game 2-0. Now we had Jidao and the exchanges of jerseys with the president and other people. Of course, later were big talent. Kuliwa mkulu Jasi was Edrisa Musuza, aka Eddie Kenzo. Diof Yavao na yagenda kwa Njeru kufata Technical Center. The under 17 Abalenzi, the boys, are preparing for the African Cup of Nations. It's going to be in Morocco. Yeah, but for TV that is Haji Diouf, that one Eddie Kenzo, legendary Tony Maweji, Hassan Wasamanda Viruma, Unga Aze, Bamol Kami, that is Entebbe Airport, Ayingide Mugwanga, Funyi Bimuli Bie Kampala, Nabali Felkane Malibu, Communication Director of Amedu say Nabalala, Bamol Kaminga. Ngayingide Mugwanga atira Uganda. So it's been abadde bintu bingi ekyali agenze ku camp alabi abana ngeje performing there's a lot of talent, there's prospects.
Yeah, ekyali abika fit
ekyali owazafu na chance mulabanga akona muko wano yali wano ne yagenze Njeru as well n'akyalira abana leero akyadde kufa complex abadde kufa TV before the beginning of this show. Abadde wano nyinyo tuli leero mu studio nyinyi bamukyaziza. Mbadde ko Tendo ne Hassan Mwanda Biruma, then ne Eddie Kenzo babadde live wano ku TV abasobola ku TV ali bamufunye ne credit bamufunyeko nawe ayogera ebintu bingi. Then wavuddeyo n'agenda ko ne ku na meeting ko ne speaker of parliament Right Honorable Banita Magogo ne bawayamu ku nsonga nyingi nnyo. So it's been very effective. That was the discussion between Kenzo na ye, then as well as ne Tendo ne Regional Hassan Mwanda. Anything about Diouf?
I just remember him in that World Cup where Girane France when he scored, he made that pass and Baba scores a goal. I think I remember him at that time. That's what I remember about him.
Yeah, he's
an amazing African that African Cup.
Yeah, 2002.
Super. Super.
I think African Cup egundi yabajjanamu yali Turkey. Turkey yabajjamu, then Turkey yavaawo negenda nezanya Brazil ku semi final, Brazil nebajjamu, then Brazil nezanya Germany ku final. Brazil newangula ekikopo ekyo, newangula final 2-0. I remember Ronaldo akuba Olive Kahn omupiira ogwo. That rebound shoti ya Rivaldo kani yakwatako wazalikiro nga 8 kani nakwatako ebitane bisatu nabiteekaawo Ronaldo n'atapinga nagenda mu celebrate about Ibrahim memories of Diouf.
No, byonna mu byogedde. He's a man of talent. Actually very strong omulaba in his appearance. I know the discussions zabadde nabo n'abakulu zijja kubaamu ebirungi.
Yeah, so there was enough motorsport inutali okulita ku bantu ngabo gawayi Alista Kavena gyotuweemuko wano ero nisamba Alista Kavena omu ku bavuzi bondooza. Okay, but that's it. But then unakulwa still Coach Paul put announcing the squad ya World Cup qualifiers. Someone in the squad again okubeera agenda kuzanya eggwanga lya Mozambique. Then at the same time ejezanye eggwanga lya Guinea wano e Kampala. Producer sotuwa ku squad eyo. And we only hope that we can perform better in the World Cup qualifiers. Of course, that's two engagements that we nazo mu bakyala we did not really pick up success. Provisional squad eyo producer agituwadde for the 2026 World Cup. Goalkeepers Ismail Bing Watenga, Alionzi Nafian, Joel Mutakubwa, Elvis Bomono, Gavin Chizito, Davis Mugabe, Timothy Awanyi, Sibik Toby, Torach, Aziz Abdu Kayondo, Mulimune Mseku, Watenga,
Mulyabi.
Alimugole nawe in South Africa, noli nabanga wazanya Mamelodi Sundowns. Previously, Teo Nyanga alimugole yenga ate Watenga alimugole. Very good for Uganda as well. Okay, then by midfielders, Sechiganda, Kenasema Kula, Kaida Ucho, Enoch Sebagala, Karim Watambala, Alan Okero, Travis Mutiaba. Yeah, no surprises in there, but good to see Enoch Sebagala back in the team as well as Karim Abdul Watambala. Then by forwards, Tuinamu, then so maybe Alima EPR, Kim Chuan EPR, Jutse Mugabe Chitara, Julius Mato, Sevendese Mukwala, Muhammad Shaban, Calvin Kabuye in a very, very good performance when he played against Congo. And then, of course, John Patrick Kakanda ali mu Villa. So we wish the best. That's a 26-man squad. Final match there abana basanya biri mbasatu. So definitely squad eyo aja kuja kabazanyi basatu. Let's watch the space. Leo njya kwa mbifuna no FUFA TV as well as 102.1 FAFAM. But FUFA TV have exclusive rights as well as those World Cup qualifiers. So
Awesome.
kubanga olaba games ezo. Of course no kuuliza 102.1 FAFAM makale. Eyo katuvuddeyo. Let's get into motorsport. Emma, social response. First Kongs we baligwa mu bintu oli omupawa bali. President Aliata.
President is okay. Raymond Mugisha yatutumidde yatusindise naga mugende mukole kye mwino okukola. He gave us his blessing. He couldn't make it. He was very, very, very busy. Yeah. And Albert is not around, our vice president, Tali Mugwanga. So they said I should be the one
to represent,
and, represent the team on the other side.
Oh, okay. Thanks for joining us. Okay, let's kick off with how the 2024 season unfolded. First time Uganda having a karting championship. You guys pulled it off. Producer Valero third day until Kevin Nobeto won the inaugural karting championship. Yes, indeed, it was the inaugural one. Yeah. 3 races. Ebbi ku track that was at Meraki. That is in Bugolobi. Then the last one was in Eluboa.
Yes.
What did you make of that championship? Because before Ibra comes in, because Ibra nayali omukwaba, I think Ibra yaja it was the second race.
But he was with us even when we were starting.
In spirit.
He was there in guidance and phone.
So run us through how did things unfold in the first season?
Yeah, I think we did well. Our inaugural season. It's not actually the first season that we've had. Kubanga Formula 1 era karting abadde wali. Abadde wali only that has not been at the level of a track. So we have private partners abadde ne trucks just kubanga kati in time jeba bazimbye gundi zaabwe. You have Meraki with a truck, you have Busika with a truck, you have Lubowa with a truck. But it's just that in the dispensation bali je balimu the other groups that were doing this thing, they were doing it like as a slalom event. We had slaloms at Airstrip, Uganda Airstrip. So you didn't really have people, engaging because you didn't really have trucks that were there. But they had those arrangements in FMU. FMU would give them licenses for competition. Only that limitation yali ku team fefe nyini fabali bejjamu abantu nga tugamba nti anedda kati team yaffe yegenda competinga. We get the guys in the team and in the club, and those are the ones that compete. But this time round it was front facing, it was outward, and I think we did well. We had our launch in April, sometime in April, after we had our elections at Meraki. And then we had our regulations organized and ratified for the season, and were able to carry out a season of 3 rounds. 2 rounds, like you said, Zali ku Gundi, Zali ku Meraki. If we had another round there, twandibadde tujikola mu reverse as per the regulations. So we had to take 1 to Lubowa so that we maintain, a balanced competition. We had these people sign MOUs with us, so we're able to have Meraki have an arrangement with us, Lubowa have an arrangement with us, of course in line with that talent-seeking pillar that was there, that was organized by NCS. So we made sure that let's identify talent, but let's also sign contracts with these places so that omuntu tomugamba nti atagenda sasula 75,000, those 100,000 like a normal person that was coming to track. So tugamba, no, let's have these partnerships, have a subsidized price, and then we had more competitors come on the scene. On the scene of competition, we had Bebeto. Bebeto carried the day. most of the guys that actually scored highly were those that were consistent in all the three the rounds.
Emukwezi races is asking. I think there was the third race because prior to the third round,
yes,
Kevin Bebeta had won the first two.
Yes.
So those no mwe yasemba yali ku erugo nga yakola clean sweep.
Yes.
So nalo kwaje.
It was within the regulation. You have to just discuss. That's why what Chadika we shall discuss it.
Nalabanga. So ngabe tuza okulo 444.
All in all, era chatambula bulungi because it's a maiden season. Era bino ebintu bibamu mukutandika. We hadn't really polished ourselves. We had the superstar there who was guiding us and giving us advice. Wanonawali flags disturbed us a bit. You know, positioning of marshals and them understanding what we are doing. You know, those
then even the actual outlay, because what I'm told, maybe you guide us. I'm told this time I'm gonna choose how the scoring format. Soccer match, like they in F1. It was different, kind of different from the that season was from this season.
Yes. So because it was our maiden season, to agenda with the timing system. You had some tracks that were not to the spec of you'd have them have head-to-head competition. So netugama antinedda, because of that, let us just do a timing. We run our season on timing. The one that had the best time, yali atwala the day. But now, yes. Of course, we left them on poll and those things, but it was just to manage, to manage which people are competing in what. At what category, at what point, and things like that. So we were able to carry that forward for the 3 rounds. Naekati now it's changing. We are saying, let us have proper quali, and then when you go for your main event, when you go for the events after the qualification, when you go for those events, you are actually competing to see who is the best in terms of who finishes first. Okay,
Imbra, wajako, I think we hosted you one before the first
before any event.
And there were a lot of because this year nae calendar yagazi from 3 events to 6. Very good because we need more events, both championship and non-championship events. But what did you make of last season's karting? Because Uganda, because it was their first amalgamate, a number of issues but you happen to have been around Eyokubiri and giving them guidance. Did they make the baby steps properly, and they have things they can improve on?
First and foremost, njagala kwebaza FMU. FMU with the Formula 1 Association Uganda for making that appearance. Every movement starts with a step. So as per my analysis, in the first event yaliwo yatambula bulungi. The drivers are very happy. They love what they are doing. They enjoy karting. However, tuina ebimu byetwa benchmarkinga era nabyogera mukono abakulu. So that we can try to be quick steps ezimu tuzibuke tuyingire ku that middle status eyaba world of karting. We all know that karting is the heart of motorsport. Kabere wa rally, kabere wa Formula 1, tewali Formula 1 driver gwe tulina ku grid as of now ngati yaliko champion mu karting. Then now graduating and agenda to Formula 4, then najja ku 3, najja ku 2, nalyoka atuka ku grid. We need more tracks, Mugwanga. We need to meet a lot of safety precautions, the standard of the track. I get the based on the time. That is the only thing we can run as of now, because we don't have that space allowing the overtakes. Easier tracks is a fair. Then we also looked at the carts that we have. Yes, they are very nice, but we can upgrade and go to that level. What carts is a nyini as a race. If we look at bringing up drivers, because a 7 Twina Lewis, the only black man on the grid, and he has made history. Twina have a top job. But how does it look in Uganda na Twina more wafe na yenga job? And it is really possible. I saw some good talents. Abato abamu baina that heart, the spirit of driving, you know, okuvuga kwewaayo. You don't think of what will come next. Abasajja abadi mu emotoka wano bazimanyi. Now ozimanyi. Bakuwala ku 180. Nga tomanyi nti nno oba sawa yonna kina happening. So there is some good talents.
Yeah, and it poses that question about the designing, Ibra, about the designing of our trucks. Because we're going to overtake to in a chance. I'll give an example. What our trucks are F1. Zimundo Zina, I think Mexico is seeing the longest stretch of around 800 meters before the first corner. Track Ngazi from the first from the green lights into Mugende. It's expansive
on the main street.
On the main stretch. Wawamvu, there's that distance. We're comparing an hour it's kind of hard for you to get past someone to actually the timing system, that's what they were using. Is it time for us to think about when designing our trucks
we need
such specifications?
Exactly. I personally in a discussion in Pamukone Mwami Albert, I have visited more than 15 trucks as a karting as well as the F1 because nemu F1 na yonkolayo. So trucks ezimu bazikola na mu truck as a F1.
Is a karting.
Is a karting. Nti bajja mu shape yabwe gye baagala ne bafuna at a side then ne ba designing okwo kati omwana adduka emisinde gyonna gyonna nga jadduka ali mu space ya motoka number. So if we happen to graduate ne tutuuka ku level having a big space, a big truck with a lot of safety measures, then tusobola okujamba drivers abalungi.
What's the, maybe for the betterment of about what's the if I told you Olimo take our layout truck ya karting, Aaron is an architect. What does it need to go out what the discussions are from so we need from an informed perspective. Look at what acreage do I need? Or take all that truck until if I'm versing Aaron over Emma, I can do an overtake. Because trucks are first up I think it's the one that gives you that.
It has the runoff.
It gives that bit of we can maneuver and do
I'll give you examples of like a lane raceway, even in Lusail, even in Dubai Autodrome. Trucks are running around 1.2 to 1.4 kilometer.
The total distance of the truck.
Yes, the total distance. Ngotademo tons, otademo tunnels, otademo bolichim. Then not nulira stretch, a main street, nebedanga like 80 meters, you know, on the stretch. So if we have like 3-4 acres of land, then we can design something very good. We can design. Then when we want to add on like the indoor, because trucks ezimu nebotunulia lemans in France. Ezimu bakwata indoor circuit nebabera bagilinkinga ku outdoor circuit. So then we need like 5-6 acres of land. Netukola indoor nga nene, then netukola outdoor, then layout zisigala zichuka.
We're going for a break, but come out, we pick it up from there. Mechanic instead of Sonyo. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium to be like every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review and even in the world of motorsport. Edson Munjereza, bagamba tumena okuyiga co-driving, musokuwanga mwekwatako, jakubanga bikwasaganya bunje. Ero nisamane yangambi atandise ekintu ero ne yakoza soli yakalanga ko ne kanchiseewo ne makanika ne atandise. Bagoyiga co-driving, mwena musokuwanga mwekwata. And it's sport interlinked. You can co-driving, karting, riding, MX, as long as it is motor sport. Kale, I have Emma Watenga, who is Social Secretary at F1 Uganda, as well as IBRAHIM KYALUZI, who is karting coach. To digest a lot regarding the 2025 karting championship, which is upon us. Then F1 season, we're going to weekend, in Melbourne. Prior to that break, Madam was Ibrahim, we need around 4 to 5. Maybe I've just gotten a message from one of the viewers. I was differentiating between an indoor and an outdoor track, because you can merge the two on the if you have a certain 5 or 6 acres of land.
5 or 6 acres of land omaze n'okuteekako parking abantu bawadde ddala ekintu ekirungi. So the difference between an indoor and outdoor track, indoor track ebeera nzimbe, ebeera enclosed, ebeera hall nga bwe tunaabeera erugo ku arena naye nga track bagizimba omwo munda. Ideally eyetegetinga ba minors abato ddala because there is a certain age ekirizibwa okujja ku outdoor track, being it is motorsport, anything can happen. So twina age limit kwani asobola okujja ku outdoor, nani asobola kujja mu indoor. However, bwe tuba tugrooming nga twagala groominga driver tumutandikira mu indoor at 7 years.
From 7 years?
Yes.
To what? To
from 7 years tusobola okumutandisa tumuteka ku 4 stroke. However, no 5 years ate tusobola omutuuza mu bumpino kart. Waliwo bu kart obuli designed nga generally bw'abaana bato. Kati omwana oyo bwe tumuleeta at 5 years tumuteeka mu kabumpino tumuteeka mu indoor. Indoor is very very secured, ebeera ne soft barriers compared to the outdoor because ne bwavaako akoona ku barriers na bouncing back. Yeah, so it is more safe. That is why we have it indoor. Then normally n'abantu banyumirwamu nnyo, they carry out their parties. Osanyusiza abaana abo n'abamikwano gyo bonna n'obasitula n'obatwala mu indoor. They have that fun. Naye in terms of sports okugikuza abaana twetaaga kubatandika bato, and the only way to start them from grassroots is the indoor. We can build out a layout, a certain track layout, oba gye tutadde wabweru oba gye tutadde mu indoor nga yemu naye nga tugitandika ya munda bato. N'abakulu tusobola okugenda ne tunyumirwamu naye nga basically targeting nnyo.
Are there aspects like nga tulina kati for us kati tukiine wakamba what the tracks we have are outdoor tracks. Are there aspects that one joins okubeera ku track n'olaba nti ono omuvuzi certain muvuzi what are missing this component or this element because teyafunako chance egenda mu indoor track?
Very, and one of them bimu ku bintu bina observing in the first karting championship because omwana oyo bw'abanga akula obanga asomesebwa how to drive, alina okumanya braking points, alina okumanya apexes, alina okumanya the early braking and late braking. So all of that contribute to time because jukira wano tugoba budde. So waliwo turns ezimu zeweetaaga interlock ng'olina kugalookinga bulookinzi then no drifting. Ne wabaawo ezimu you need to open very high to keep the momentum going. So ebintu bingi nnyo.
So Ibrahim, in a country cutting up for one way truly, we have 3 tracks so far. None of them is indoor.
They are all outdoor.
They are all outdoor. And we want to groom a stock way up to a certain level. Give an example, Kevin Debeto is performing more in karting, 50 points by the way, he champion last year in the Super Pro class. Then the one who has them rally now quarter M12. Abande musiara si abadabatamu. But what would you advise? Because kuzimba that track, Uganda has only one indoor arena. In sporting disciplines, that is the MTN Lugogo, where you can play basketball, netball, squash, every discipline is seeing a pool, a boxing, so where you have a chance in such an arena because of the space and demarcations and so what would you advise before we think of going out, because kuzimba that outdoor track can take again, it's a serious investment.
A very big one. Yeah, a very big one. Actually, building the track might be very hard, but getting the loops and the timing systems installed is sort of hosting up to those international matches, races, chibera expensive muko. However, principles that kozesa tezichuka. Never abavugira kutaka. The difference is we deal with grip. The tire compound ngaba tumulaba antino mu F1 bavuga soft compound ne bavuga medium ne hard. Ne mu karting tuinayo soft compound, tuinayo like C3 or rain, tuinayo ne hard compound. So but tuvuga hard compound ate sibe tuduka ku soft compound because soft compound are very quick. Agwa mangu oshege naye yasinga creating a time enungi. So principles zetukozesa mu kutendeka omwana oyo tezikyuka. ne tuba tumukutte ne tumuwa ebirungo ebyo nga tubimuweredde ku outdoor track ekyenjawulo ekirimu nti indoor track mostly sometimes ebeera squeezed tabira ne time eyo however emuguluminga more in defense
defensive driving
in defending his position yeah because defending attacking then overtake ebyo mu indoor track ebikola nnyo oba olina any gap gyalekawo gyo divinga in
yeah Hamilton yakola switch from Mercedes to Ferrari baya kufanya kebaleete kiyateekayo ku in fact kika kyali nayo ku socials ali mu kart is putting on Neil and the helmet that's a kind of kart gundi yabadayogera ko Ibra olaba nti someone has gone through the ranks from okuva wansi up to where he is. Emma, before we switch, what should you expect?
I just wanted to just add to what Ibra is saying from administrative side. NCS has organized or actually has a plan in their rules, in their strategic plan to go all over Uganda. So definitely tugenda kubanga tuina spaces where we can actually tap into that gundi kubanga buli region egenda kuba nti eino kubanga ina track as we go ahead goni mu Uganda. Yes because of the act. Yes, I just didn't want to go into it kubanga it's not what we are discussing today, but that is where we are going strategically. Tugenda kubanga tuina tracks everywhere. So you will find that privateers now in Uganda, that we are inviting you. You need to start investing into these things. Please partner with us, partner with F1UG. We have Ibra here. We have people that understand setting up. We need to be setting up in different places.
Everywhere.
So you are welcome to partner with us. You are welcome reaching out. We are just not sleeping until we just call these things cosmetically. Naye nga tuli outreach ya manyi nnyo ku building a talent eno era growing a sport starting with these young ages. Our regulation for us era tugenda gikyusa kati wetufuta ziri kati entono era tujja bikyusa tulina 7 age of 7 and then we also measure your height the centimeters that we are particular about. Omwana aberenga asobola tula mu kati stretching and they are able to balance and have control of that cart. So yeah, I just wanted to add that it's a strategic thing that we are thinking about.
Yeah, Ibra, maybe as we switch from karting into F1, my last question to Eriku, how do those, because in Dubai, how different, how are they doing things right? Because you can't be on that F1 track. We need to go through that. There's no way. But that process of the karting, because I've seen Rand. I was talking to KYALUZI on Saturday about their championship, and Nalimubuza, the president of RAC, Rwanda Automobile Club, Namubuza, about how they see that sport. Do they appreciate it as one that can bring them a champion? Because we have F1 by the way. Basaba F1 recently walified in assembly. President Yagama fully winning and nothing we need to go back and start doing things right. We try to call everything to let's organize and inquire. Then in fact, he asked me about how we are doing things. He said, but I have to seek for your authority to share a number with him. But nevertheless, how are they doing things in inside?
First and foremost, chitandikira ku the EMSO, Emirates Motorsport Association organization, in a standard guidelines, just to capture the standards of international of the FIA. Then ekyokubiri ba drivers bayina bye bayitamu emitendera gye bayitamu okutuuka ku level eyo racing on those tracks. They have licenses, they do even exams in terms of knowing the rules of the
class.
Yes. Agenda na practicing najja nakola act test ne bamu approving anti oyo kati ajja kusobola okufuna license emukkiriza okurunninga karting oba addeyo atereze engeri gya hitting amakona engeri gya stretching engeri gya defending bingi nnyo ebitunoddwa byonna mbirina we will share with Emma at length n'abaana babeetaze basobola omutuukira naye basobola okutuukirira ne mwami Albert ntera nnyo okusharinga naye so bingi bye tusobola okukola okusobola shaping omuzannyo.
So Emma, my last one, with this year we have 6 rounds of the National Karting Championship. What's upon us this year? Apart from the 6 rounds themselves, anything new? Because the rounds have been increased from 3 to 6.
Yeah, so we thought twaloza nti we twakola rounds esatu last year twalaba turnout and interest nti yali yeyongera each round that we had more interest and we thought that omwaka guno katukole mukaaga tuki stretching but also see if we can reach out to other remember sometime I think 2015 2016 that time we had a carnival. Twabako ne carnival. Running in town. Running in town. So we want
the
KCCA carnival. So twagala kuba nti we have that sort of arrange. We wanted to spread them, and then as we plan with the different partners, betugenda okukolagana nabo, tuyinza okuteka some of these things in the city. If we can have a city circuit, sit down with the IBRA. To designing a city circuit and tufuna permission from the people that we need, the authorities, one of our races will be in the city, a city street karting sort of championship. That is why we spread them out to 6.
Have you thought about running the karting championship? Okay, the karting events alongside the national championship events. I'll give an example. Okay, this time tragically last year 2024 the super special stage yali ku go flying in bar it's
I was there so I watched you
so ko babule kumunana wa leta
mwali mudoka
that track
it was crazy
that track ndaba it's something you could go test and you
pose no one say no awali around about waliwo wansa waliyo bachali there's some holes there then look so you can have a slalom there you can have a slalom event there
actually no kuongerako katono kati nga mama speaker ne mukadde waffe engineer n'abalala bazimba stadiums ezenene karting we can always have a space for it nadala ku stadiums ngezo
aside from the
ngabola bebukedea aside tusobola okudesigninga yo to the racetrack ngabola eno wa kabalega nayo tusobola okudesigninga even Nambole has enough space to have a karting track there nga tetugenze na wala nnyo nga tutandikide na ku government ngebadde tukwatiddeko.
Yeah, so in case one, so the stadium becomes a multi-function.
Exactly. Changu nnyo ku modifying areas ezimu ezirinanye stadiums ezo. One, they attract numbers of people. It will give the sport publicity. On top of that, tujawo talents.
This parking as you approach the stadium, there's a huge space.
That is what I'm targeting. That is what I'm targeting.
Oyinza ku designing obuntu bunjawo track different
very layouts zisobola okuvamu mu space and people can really compete from that area.
Jukira regulation yaffe egamba nti you are not supposed to have at least the same twice. You can't do 2 even. Now actually we limited it to you can't have 2 operating in the same place, like 2 events in the same circuit. But if you have those multiple gundis,
what do you mean 2 events operating in one?
You can't have, like for example, we can't have Meraki do 1, 2
back to back,
or even do 2. We will want Meraki to do 2 and then maybe have a reverse.
Okay.
You get not the same spec to spice up the you know.
Not the same course.
Not the same course.
Yes.
Something like that.
Okay.
Reverse. So it's the same thing that Ibra is talking about. In that setting of Nambole, is okubango in a different
track layouts,
different things that are happening on the same.
Then I think the challenge with Jira the cuts themselves. How Ibra, what remedies are available to the locals? Only way you always there. And don't you have cuts at eso kubanga zigulibwa at I don't know arrangement system winner with which you can hope the F1 association because guli wali ku source you can say enejako Kampala and we can have we are hampered by the number.
Actually the carts themselves we have better carts but we can hope for the best.
Anga tugenze mwali cream dera cream
ngati tugenze ku cream wabula for the best ezisobola otukolera bye tusinga okwetaaga tusobola okuzifuna more so when you approach like the companies themselves contacts
MOU arrangements
yes contacts mba nazo the CRG company nene nnyo naye producing though quality yaabwe era tusobola then netubeera ne Sodi is the standard brand buli omu jaddukirako then bwe tujja ne tutunulira ku 2 strokes olwo nga tugenze mu kutandika okuguluminga ba real race drivers then varieties nyingi it depends on kicho osobola then kututandikira okwo. However the chassis is different but we have only 2 brands of engines. We have the Ayami and the Rotax. So bwe tutuuka nga tugenze mu racing ezo ezikola
okay
then kati zino ze tulina zisobola okupreparinga omuzannyo okuyingira mu kiri bwe tuba twagala omuzannyo okumujja ku level eya just competition eriroko tugende ku international standards then we by all means you need to go to a 2-stroke.
There's a time we hosted Albert here ngayogera ku one of the aspiration dreams as the dreams they fund is having a one. Okay, there are very many things. We must have the regional championship, karting. We must have the regional because Rwanda is doing it, Kenyans, Uganda. So even if you start with those ones, you mean it can become the African Rally Championship, maybe become the African Karting Championship. It's just that maybe the Shiba demo. Which something that can be revived.
We're actually supporting it, Kesh. We had a partnership with Meraki back Kenya. They went and competed 31st of January. They were in Kenya. They had the competition between the Meraki team. Abasinga mu Titans that were covering last year, which we officiated. With also the help of remotely with the IBRA, we managed twasobola okuba nti officiating a Clash of the Titans yabwe era bamaliza event eyo they pushed the best top 5 were pushed to compete in Kenya. So we have those partnerships weziri. It's just that twagala zigaziya kati twagala tutegere ekintu ekigenda mu so that's why you see even with having 6 events you know you're trying to train more, you're trying to have a feel ogeza ko kulaba feel ya competition etambule etambula and of course people are becoming better. Then we get to that level, then we can begin to partner. We are in discussions with IBRA on taking the best. If we can get into that conversation of a national team, okay, these things we are talking about them, but we need to be very careful how we, you know, the legal implications. Nayenga we tutuka ku time where tugamba nti kati Uganda in a national team, then we can, when we've built a national team, then we can now have that team go and compete out there. So twina levels the twitamu newe tutuka ku kintu kyaffe nga tuwumbye timu yaffe tugambe kati ne timu je twina there 5 guys twina Dylan Kutosi, we have Ashley Young, we have who, you know, we have these boys and they are willing and they are ready. Then we build a national team, a structure webaawo kati then we present it. Our government negamba mugende mukole, mugende mugire, mugende mutambuze. Of course kati ekyo kinacho kiba those things move together na kiri echa building gundis, identifying talent elsewhere. Omwana ayinza okuba nga your next champion is going to come from Gulu. Your next champion is going to come from Soroti. Your next champion is going to come from Kotido.
So you need that. Then it's on the same issue about the sort of non-championship events.
Yes.
Do we need to have as, I don't know how many are there this
so non-championship events to Gambia, different clubs want to try to do these things. Yeah.
Now so, one on the calendar, Central Motor Club has an event. On the draft.
Yeah. It was ratified. I'm yet to look at the actual calendar now, official calendar, much as I'm a CC member. I'm yet to look at the actual calendar, and verify some of these things. But yes, there was a discussion that we had where we talked about partnership. Tulabe nti as long as omuntu abaddewo n'akitambuza tuyinza okupartneringa n'abantu abalala ne tulaba nti yeah, okay, just like you do it in rally. Nti mu rally omuntu tasobola just kugwira event mumuwachi autocross. So tulabe nti let's see that you can do an autocross. Then after you've done an autocross, jango gide. So our equivalent would be a non-competitive championship event. No gena no kola ne balaba era the same meeting that jejimu ekintu kyo ne kiyita mu CC. You do your report is reviewed, they evaluate you, review and say okay, munaenza kola. Then next year you can have a calendar event to have a karting championship. Yeah.
Then Emma, before you go in for a break, in regards to interest, because if the sport can, if the support is there, you can have an influx of people coming out to compete. How is it where you are? Is it, do they do it at college level, at school level, so that you have an interest? Motocross. It starts from 4 years for the PWE, then younger. You're right.
Well, actually, internationally, what they do, there is leisure karting and competition karting. So leisure karting is done by 4 strokes. Abana bato in leisure karting, they drive a 200cc, and then for the seniors, they go for a 390cc. So that is leisure. But when we go for competition karting, then wasinga okubeera obuzibu oba we wasinga okubeera okusoma okw'omuyizi gwe twagala avuge ategere ki kyagenda okuvuga bakihandolinga batya. The delicacy of that kart, it is a very, very unique, delicate machine. Then bina competitions ze basetinga nga zo ziri based on 2 strokes or competition, real competition. Like we have the champions of the future, we have the RMC, we have the IAMI, we have the Euro Series. So kisinzira obusobozi bwo. Then kirimu ne financial implication naye ekyo kidde eri muzadde asobola okufinansinga omwana we. Twalaba tata wa Lewis yali musajja wa IT nga ne sente entono nnyo n'agenda ne mu banka ne yeewolayo sente omwana asobola okukola ki okugenda deep into karting. Now he's a world champion, he's a goat in the sport. Yeah? So kijirako ekyo nti omuzadde omwana alina okumugulira personal kart, because karting to be a championship wetaaga a non-stop 2 years training. At least you do 2 to 3 trainings in a week okusobola okumeetinga those standards. The more you train, the more you move quicker. The more you get used to the turns, the more you get challenges. Ngere ekyemotoka bwe kibeera nti bw'owummulamuko emyezi 6 ogenda okudda amasavu gakweyongedde, reaction tokyasobola kureactinga. So
breaking ale
nnyo tojja kigere ku break. So bwekityo bwe kibeera. However, separating ira ddala. Bw'oba ogenda mu competition, it is real competition, and then you'll have to do a 2-stroke. Jjo okusanga Ayami Rotax. So there are parents abamu nga beetegefu omwana nga amuteeka mu Ayami n'amuteeka mu Rotax. However, chassis zo tezikyuka. To switching the engines. Yeah. Then ne tulyoka tukwata ne buli championship eyina regulations zaayo. Eyina byegoberera. Bwe tuba tumixinga oil, tumumixinga tutya. Ayami mulala, Rotax mulala. Naye bonna ekigendererwa golo F. Bonna bwe bavaawo basibiramu F.
F4.
Yeah.
And just to add also to what Ibra Chagambye.
First going for a short
All right.
When we get back, Emma supplementing, and then we delve into F1. Hamilton signing for Ferrari. What do these guys expect? No, what is Ferrari one? All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. It's the Podium to be back every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight as we preview and review in the world of motorsport. Today we're going to talk about karting. tugenda mu second half tugenda kugenda ku F1 season which is upon us etandika weekend in Melbourne mu Australia. Abawagizi ba MotoGP season yatandise era nkansubire nti we're going to have a blast ne race ya yali ya sawa 5, so you have to strike a balance between your time and Sunday, but we managed to watch that one and it was a very, very good race. Mark Marquez yasobola okuwanga angular race, then of course ne muganda we Alex Marquez yali mu kyokubiri, and yeah, very dominant for him, by the way, very dominant weekend because yali from pole, then now I'm going to sprint race as well, so he had a very, very good weekend. Katulenti to play Mark Marquez only. Yeah, taking a very good. It's a very good season for him. Anyway, that's what I got before we switch to F1 regarding Ibrahim's submission.
The sport is expensive. Naye bino byonna bye tuli okola era VP waffe yali he was in Rwanda when we had that prize giving.
FIA General Assemblies.
Yeah, FIA General Assemblies. Naye one of the initiatives jatugambako, which I think also Ibra knows about, is the initiative of Arrive and Drive. There's something called Arrive and Drive. Nti omuntu toina kuba nti oina
that prior experience.
Yes.
Yeah, into this.
Naye nga as long as obadde mukati otudde mukati tukulaba biki ne tukugamba nti okay omwana ono kati talent tulaba you can be on our what? On our national team. We tukutuusa eri oba ogenze Dubai, FIA will provide you with a vehicle. They will give you a cut at the spec of that international level. Nebagambe motoka yiyevuga.
Just to supplement katono kucha Emma, twina races nga karting champions of the future. Eyo yo muzanyo you subscribe, you pay the registration, ogenda nga boli. Everything
kama ka
ticket ogenda nga boli, everything is provided. Chemukola mutwala expert wamwe, the one who will maintain the cart for you, the team manager, nomuzadde omwana nga agenda akona machine.
That is karting for?
Karting, it is Champions of the Future Academy. It is also sponsored by the FIA. Of recent yakajjamu abana bagenze mu F1 Academy abawala Luna Flosha wetunuliramuko ne Toto Wolff yaliyo ku grand final namu applauding abulungi na mugamba category product ya Mercedes.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Bina is a bit F1 association.
Yes. So the association.
Back to you guys.
Yes. So the association today, Tulimukola. Remember, we have a membership of 150,000 shillings. Jetu charging annually. Buli omwage no twegatako as a member to experience these things and share. You have a platform of membership called F1UG. F1 Association of Uganda. We started somewhere early 2000. There were friends that came together. Nebatula Bombi, Oscar Semweya,
yes. Solomon Kajulanga,
yes.
Nagamba continue this season lawyer Mpanga.
Yes. Very great people.
Last year.
Yes, very great people. So netuchizimba mu team club that purely is focused on not just karting, netukola ne race viewing. Yeah, we sit down together, netugamba nti kati Melbourne is upon us, je tugenda okuyingiramu ku discussing, era tugenda tula awantu, and we shall meet as F1 members, and then we shall talk about these things. So our membership is 150,000 shillings per year, 12 months. Na your next payment when you are renewing is 100,000 shillings.
Yeah, from the onset, yes. 150.
Yeah, 150 on the onset. Renewal 100,000. Yeah.
I've watched the number of races. Nariko race, yeah, Silverstone, which was done by Hamilton. Crazy. I think it was one of the craziest races of last year. But I saw how the issue of being, okay, for lack of a better word, Hamilton being black.
Yes.
Now, he was the race. Everyone was mad, and when we won the race, we were icon.
Yes.
I had a friend of mine I didn't know once. So yawuli abantu nga everyone
went crazy.
They went crazy.
Yeah.
So he called me, are you guys safe? Because it had taken long from the last time you had won a race.
Yeah. Naye kenyine ku radio towards approaching the last year bagamba leave everything to me.
Yes.
It was a very very emotional race.
Yes.
Buli muntu yamukwatako.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Very emotional.
And the way commentator we are summarizing that when we are jumping to the last corner and you can't atunuli agende ku
final start.
The way the commentary, the commentary agamba it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, the cool down lap.
The cool down lap. It's been a long time for him coming. Well deserved for Hamilton. And engage yali waka.
Yes.
Yayongera ku amplifying that it is really truly a sad.
Bonna waka where you had Pete Bonington and naye yakaba, they were all just
very very much.
It was heavy.
Ideally wabaddeyo ne bonnakozi in the back room nga Toto akasikira Fred mu Ferrari nga ne Fred naye so yeah, so the fire is going to be really crazy for this season.
So we switch tabs to F1 and it's Hamilton himself making that move. One of the panelists saying Aaron Nsamba keeps is completely against that move. Gamanti Bamure, okay. Bamwa what we read is that Ferrari offered Mercedes offered him $100 million to append signature
to renew the contract, which was
Najigana, because Ferrari was giving him a match
ambassadorial post, then Mwane sent him Project 44.
Project 44, which of course is one of his brands. KARTING, those are again of Chibaram Nagam, okay. It's time for me to make the move. And even if it were me, $100 million is enormous money. Let me make that switch. I didn't know that one of the things Hamilton knows it's charm. The windows, I may be right, I may not be right, is that championship which was won by Nico Rosberg in 2016. For him, it's the nose are rosa. Just nose are rosa. Nico didn't deserve
to take
because Charlie, it was
the DNFs were outrageous. Yes, Moto Katamala, Malaysia yanzita, oh my goodness, Sepang yanzita.
Ideally, ngenda ku differing amuko katono lwa bintu bibiri. One every not on 2016, on 2021. Mpaka kati. There is that fight to prove that bamuba. And on top of 21.
Okay. Actually, 16. Air 16.
Air
16 Nico didn't deserve it.
Nico didn't deserve that win. It is very obvious. But with 2021 it was something different. So ideally in the back room no tuberanga tuli mu races ezo. Owuliranga ne crowds zikyalina fight ya 2021.
Yes.
So I believe that Lewis needs to prove people that he's a GOAT. One. Then on top of that, every F1 driver yandiagada okuvugirako ku Ferrari. And Lewis is approaching his evening time of racing. So his intention was...
Is Ferrari the how should I call it? The benchmark or
backbone of the
backbone?
Sport. Backbone of the sport. Ferrari ebaddewo nnyo, and on top of that, in the background, nemuzi teams zemulaba ku grid. Era bali bunga bye supplying the engines and the transmission and everything. So nze nkirowooza yayagala kugenda atuukirize ekirooto kye ekyokuvugirako ku
because yagamba it was Saudi dream by the way. Because he's been in McLaren as a way
he's been a Mercedes driver all his life.
Yeah, so abadde tatuukangako mu Ferrari. And one of his intentions, one is at least to win a title in Ferrari.
Yeah, but for TV, that was Hamilton being welcomed at the Ferrari factory.
Faranero.
And very, very, I mean, we have to be fun. One of the fact we have the Nagan and testing. And one of the it's fun and just training is the mom. We are taking a selfie now.
Yes.
Shock testing. You could see a very, very emotional moment for him. And he gave them hope. it's part of me has always been held on to dream to drive for the Ferrari. Kati bakulaga Hamilton wansi walinga ali McLaren wanonga ali mu Mercedes kati wana ali mu Ferrari. That is when after that was a photo shoot. Amazo kujena anika then they were comparing the McLaren, the Mercedes, the Ferrari. People are saying to Ferrari and you because chiriko. But
kongereza ko kuchicho kesh ekisoka Lewis era yatugamba po bigambo bye ngamazo kutula motoka ya Ferrari ye feeling je yafuna nga atudde mu Mercedes for the first time yalaba nga essenyu lye yafuna luli era alifunyeko waneno so tusobire birungi.
Does he have pressure on him to deliver?
He doesn't have pressure. He's going to deliver because Hamilton is a brand. On top of that, he made Ferrari to change the setup of the car to his compatibility. Chimongera amanyi nebe betwalabye mu pre-season testing in Bahrain. Ferrari motoka yote yagitadde kumalayo emisinde gyayo. That is why you see Red Bull already yaduse demisinde mu FIA okuteekayo complaint. But he has good timing. Era bonna they say Lewis is a good and quick driver.
The good year the fastest
test, yeah.
Yeah, the fastest testing. But it just literally that's a photo. That's Hamilton's mom taking that picture on Hamilton. Very, very emotional. Emma, I told you the championship 2021. Maybe Michael Massey. And those FIA acquired admission and it was human error. Michael Massey yakola decision yakola okukiriza all lap cars Michael Massey yakitukola but that decision but that alone brought in a pool of stewards. Previously Massey atulo ku decision and he makes a decision and you have a couple of them. I think it was something which was right. Maybe Shari Chibulam and such events it you repurpose for the future. Your championship in year 16 Hamilton arose and he was it was very, very unfair for him. Very unfair for him. They had a max interviews as well guy was like, but did feel this championship like I've worked hard for it but in the last was no I'm not the guy who makes the decision. After that race Mercedes Balagan were going to take you. In fact, the Balagan notice were appealed the decision. But no man ever did. I just didn't know why. I wish they had gone down to the wire and FIA. Because driver Charlo was and he was wrong. He was outdone by that decision.
Until now, the fire is on. Abantu bache mulugunya kuchekyaliwo by 2021. That is why we twabadde ku grand opening in London. Max
was booed.
Max Red Bull nga bazze to show their car. They were booed. Byonna biva ku enyike. That is what I can say. Enyike ya 2021. So kinyuma nnyo. The more we have those grievances, the more we have competition.
Can Hamilton deliver in Ferrari?
Unfortunately for me, I'll differ based on Chinalaba testing. Testing was 3 days, and with my understanding of the sport, I've been a scholar for a bit of time. But omuntu wabanga chembadde ndaba motoka zino buli boba oyina motoka nga ina evolution you perform better. The time it takes you of catching up with whatever is happening is much better. So on the grid, in terms of vehicle, obviously the one that won the championship last year for the constructors era yaba ina upper hand, but regardless of whatever we want to say. So if you look at HRM testing, McLaren actually has the upper hand. Way. It's actually scared. People are saying that they're very, very scared. Just like Ibrahim was talking about the flexible wing. You see that after the Spanish Grand Prix, it's already been predetermined. But after the Spanish Grand Prix, they are going to do the regulation is going to change. Flexible wing. It's going to change after the Spanish Grand Prix of this year. So there are already things that are already happening. Now, the standout for me in testing was the McLaren with about a second or even half a second to a second quicker by race pace of Bahrain in terms of what they what we saw. Yes, someone will talk about Mwalimu sandbagging, but ultimately, for me, I see the McLaren was the fastest, and then with the Lewis, because you have new changes on the Ferrari with the suspension. You still have that correlative change that these guys did with their badge boards, Banabagundi or Mercedes. So Mercedes will be just a bit faster than the other one. The other one will have to learn the car over time because of the new changes on the suspension from push to pull, So now they have to learn, kaiga. As long as we naka learning curve wako, how far will people be? But also, actually a bit weird is on the drivers. You know that I actually see Mark Sainz okulia chinecha 2025. Kubanga, Charles Leclerc, ne Lewis, they will take points of each other. The McLarens are going to take points of each other.
Come up with a decision by now. Within them,
I don't think
we
can discuss.
McLaren actually sorted those in my view.
No, it's not.
It is sorted because Lando is Lando.
Piastri.
Yeah, Lando is Lando. And Oscar is we are still looking at him as a rookie.
Okay.
Yeah. Then nkuzayo kuche emotoka zonna like previous season, McLaren had many DRS. That is why McLaren is so quick. In the regulations, many DRS gap by regulating, of which ne Ferrari now yacha adapting. The setup of the front suspension, nyini McLaren jerina Ferrari yakoze. The same applied to Red Bull. Mercedes. So, in my view, tugenda kubera with a very, very good competitive season, and the best driver will win.
Yeah, as we part issue Hamilton, the issue of, because Agambe is only focused on one thing, and that is winning. If I quote, I'm only focused on one thing, and that is winning. Can Ferrari take the gamble and propel him to being their number one driver? Because on that grid, you must have a number one driver. Because I'll give an example. Last season, I think he had the Hungarian Grand Prix, where Lando had the chance of winning.
Yes.
And he was ordered. He was ordered to Piastri. And those points, you'd think he had Lando's maybe and they were there pushing, because toward the second part of the season, McLaren is performing much better than the Ferraris. But just because Max along with the championship was the first half of the season.
Yes.
But we're not going to catch up Chidichi, then you have some issues. Never going to closing that gap for him already against. You get a feeling that McLaren and those are now already 1 and 2. That is Lando and Piastri. Mercedes by now.
Let me just pause you there. If you've paid attention, I've been a McLaren supporter from 2007 about that. But McLaren has always had 2 strategists. They don't have one strategist. You don't have James Vowles in Mercedes. James Vowles aliyomu yali strategist wa Mercedes most teams have one strategist. McLaren has always had 2 strategists, and they all have the interest of their driver. Yes, they have a common person that they come back to, but if you followed Formula 1 for some time, McLaren has always had 2.
So
two strategies. So what Chetwalaba Mugundi mu Hungary, Chetwalaba last year, where you'd see them actually going at each other. Piastri, going, coming aggressive and things like that. Become aggressive guy. The baby face, but I don't see how they are going to start doing that right now, because yes, Lando had a good season last season. but they are going to let them. We are going to see what's going to happen at the beginning.
Yeah. Maybe on the first
they are going to race.
First race
they are going to race
all out. Then we see and go to
no, even the pundits that were telling us from testing. If you are listening to the Ted's notebook and things like that, everyone was saying we are letting them go. Even Zach himself said Bagena Kuduka at the beginning.
But okay, for McLaren or Gamboka, as you're saying, maybe not. But for Mercedes, we were in already.
Yeah,
that is George Russell.
We have George
and Kimi.
And Kimi is a newbie.
Yeah.
Kimi, I predict agenda crashing a motor more than 3 times before even.
But he was 7th.
Yeah, he was 7. He's a good. I've met Kimi at least one-on-one. Netuwaya muko kupado. Kimi is a very calm. Era bobo mulaba ngadduka mu Formula 2. Aduka. But the difference, yes. But the difference with the car in Formula 1, ne pressure jagenda okukaringa at his age, tajja kusobola kugobagana n'abasajja abo. Bonna nga bwe bazza abato. Just look, Mercedes has a good car. Naye abato abo bonna Isaac Haja, Kimi, Franco Colapinto.
You have 10 new drivers.
Yeah, you know, bonna bagenda kwesengeka nga badda mabega. Because adapting to the car, it takes time. Nga bwe tulaba nti nno buli tukyuse emmotoka ne ba senior drivers basiba complaining. Hamilton ya complaining omwaka mulamba about bouncing. Kati n'oyo omuto mumusuubire. Nga bwe yakikola bwe yatula mu mmotoka ya Russell n'agitomerezaawo nga akagenda ku track. Neno mpya.
So it's something. Anyway, as we go in for a break, then come back and discuss other teams because this segment was dedicated to Lewis Hamilton. I'll ask Emma a straightforward question. Was Ibra to the art history about him, the money is being offered and the decision he had to make? He must have thought a billion times about it before he moved. Then was Hamilton with the Charlie Ferrari in terms of the brand himself. They have sold out. They have made millions of money.
Katono nyo kanyingiremu katono. Just his step bakola 10% of the product sold out. Yo kugamba nti no kati officially avudde ku Mercedes as switchings. So Emma sobola kutandikira awo.
So okay, when you're signing a person, you look at very many things. One, the implication itself, the financial implication. What does it come along with? Is a brand, like Ibra rightly said. I nominate, is black. Then next year, he's world champion. He won the McLaren champion, I think, in 2008. After the introduction of the turbo hybrid engines in 2015, Mercedes is really dominant until that decision. Michael Massey. Then, of course, there's a Nico Rosberg. I mean, 2016, but 2015, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and time and same thing that has been done with Max Verstappen after his dominance. Ajako podiums. As the person who has won the race, and people start booing him. Same thing happened to Hamilton. So I'll ask you, is it time for him to show, because China feeling he can handle Max, is it time for him to show using Ferrari and he can go pound for pound with Max?
I think at this point in his career, Hamilton has nothing to prove. Just like Ibra said, Omonto asenze 8 championships. He is the GOAT. Statistic-wise, he is the GOAT. Naye, for me, in my opinion, it could have been a market move, but not just a market move. Market move, naye chigate nechi into feeling yange ya kumalira mu Ferrari.
So opportunity
Nejja, and they collided, because it's not the first time Ferrari has asked for him for his signature. No, it's not the first time. They've talked. Nene bituuka ne 2021 bayogera nenga ebintu debigana. Are you sure there's no information here? But yes, it could be a product move because he's a brand. Like we talked about it, he's a brand. He just doesn't teye marketing kyokka naye ine ebintu byafulumya byatunda byakola ki. So those things coupled with the partnership of the size of Ferrari, and he has, if you look at his collection, his personal collection, motoka zavuga he has a Ferrari
Yes,
in his collection. He has them, the Panganis, the what. So he has the Italian thing. Now you combine that with the success of this team that has been in the sport from the beginning, that even has veto rights for F1. I mean, it's just
okay, we go in for a break, get back, discuss tomorrow's segment of December, talk about other teams. Adrian we again Aston Martin, IBRAHIM, what does he bring on table from Red Bull? Probably on Aaron Gagamanti. You move about Mercedes, now Ferrari, why would Adrian leave Red Bull and go to Aston Martin? I think when that team is big, is it such good leaders? Let's get back after a short commercial break. All right, we'll be back from that short commercial break. We're into our last segment of today's show, the podium, which comes to every single Monday from 10 p.m. to midnight, where we preview and review everything in the world of motorsport, both on FUFA TV, the home of Ugandan Sport, as well as 102.1 FAFA Mazonezili under the FUFA Media Services. The case on this 10th of March 2025, digesting a lot regarding the world of karting and F1 with Emma and as well as Ibra. Then prior to that, Lewis Hamilton, he switched from Mercedes to Ferrari, and our anticipations, we can only wish him the best because these guys are branding him the GOAT, the greatest of all. Okay, now let's talk about speed. About we have around a couple of minutes left. Other teams, that is Aston Martin. Prior to the end of last season, Balita ran away from Red Bull. Yeah. And what does it bring on table? And can they become because in Lance Stroll Alonso in that team?
Adrian is a senior citizen in the sport. Adrian has developed very many. As Adrian, he later Red Bull on map because of his designs and his knowledge. Adrian is going to transform Aston Martins, but not with the drivers Valina.
Lance Stroll Alonso.
Yeah, kugambirawo he is not ready to work with Lance. Lance mwana nga tuchogeddeko waneno. Yo wa luxury. Oba winnings, oba scoring the point, he doesn't care. And when you see Alonso akuze, he's experienced, he cannot push to the limits. Twali mukasana wanene Bahrain season yewede yasoko kaba nti banayi munjuwe yoka amazi akaliro kocha. So the car is good, it's going to be good. We expect them to come below the 845. Nete baja kubera mu top 3.
Maybe going forward, they need to look out for scout for the drivers.
They need to get a driver. And what is scary is oja kwesanga nga bagenda ku retiringa Fernando omwana asigalewo.
Then
banonyeyo driver omulala. However, nze nali agadde ne tubera ne ba Rockies babiri in Aston Martins. Anyway, ne team nga bwekola esobola okufula Aston Martins eyo nejja wano ku top in just 2 seasons.
As long as they have good drivers.
Yeah.
Was it were other teams looking at that before he did sign for Aston Martin? Because already Mercedes by Toto, then Red Bull by Christian Horner. Horner, one of the things I like about the post after the race, when Horner starts speaking, you can't just want to leave. We're gonna agree until the end of the end of the. But other teams, I think the top 3 teams recovered. McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull recovered in terms of team. But I think Adrian have got the right to move. Maybe I can just see team when no one see.
Adrian oyo bamunyezamu. That is why, that is why he made a move to say, okay, sina chembagaza, I've done everything in the sport. Era moba designers. Tosobola kwogera ba designers basatu nga tonna bakuteeka anyway. Yo mukuba great designers betulina. Aston Martin egenda kola bulungi. Naye nga terina abo ba drivers bombi. Fernando might move najja even in the top 4. Naye ntabani w'omulodi.
Okay, then producers also akuba team principals about this season. Stella, very good performance from him with McLaren. Very last season, very good performance. Toto Wolff naye. Then of course Christian Horner as well. I think Horner I think he's done the good. He's managed the team really well. Look at Kalizo you worry for Max about Lawson being his teammate in terms of takeover performance for this year. Does he with that when the team is Zimataringa? Was that the right decision by Red Bull? Okubanti bali tomwana ngoyo. Maybe let's tumukuze because I think they're looking at McLaren. They have drivers by over Land and Piastri
and Oscar they are
very young. Maybe nobody by Tagofuna Yomuntu Okubanti has to take out performance. Ngamoto.
I think Red Bull is looking at the other guy. Is it Yuki?
I
think yeah. I think they are looking at yes, that guy. But it will depend on what season Lawson has. Because they can even pull him out in the mid. You know them. The Helmet Marco can pull you out mid-season. Na take ayo ani Sonoda. Na ye Lawson chai no kola. Just I know kubeda kugundi yani kubampa ya Max. Choka chai no kola. Because for them bali clear cut nti ye motoka baina gundi omu baina Max. That's how Max actually is in play this season. Max is in play on the championship for drivers. Because he has Lawson, all Lawson has to do is kansigale kubampa yono kubanga tagena kuleka Max. Ya Max agena muleka. So he just has to stick with that guy while these others take points off themselves. So it's not a bad move for them. Either way, whether they put Sonoda there or they leave this Lawson to develop, it works for them either way. Just Lawson, I know kusigala kubampa Max.
Of course, Horner have had the Red Bull since 2005. Then Red Bull, of course, always at 20 years since they made their
congratulations to them
in F1. Okay, Professor Sotu the lineup, the driver lineup, 2025, and we discussed that maybe. Then we also get into Australia this weekend. You've talked about Lawson. Maybe anything
in terms of Red Bull, it was unfair to leave Yuchi and put Liam on grid.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because Yuchi is doing good in RB, so he's experienced. Avoderi, BTW, BWT.
So that's
the progress Yuchi ejanyo ne mu Japan. So there is even a possibility of utamulaba ko grid, but in terms of performance Max alieka. Lawson cannot give Max support. Lawson naye achali mupya mu system. Tusubire nti Max agenda kulwa na eka.
So Red Bull baina Verstappen and Lawson. Then let's get into Mercedes. Russell Kimi, balanced team as well?
Not balanced.
Why? Because the experience
is very
Kimi akavamo F2. Onoga abadde webanga. I think does Kimi also have the same responsibility of kubanga abira behind Russell so that he can also push because we need as a driver you need points, but you need to put points on board for the team in terms of the
Mercedes will let them race. Mercedes will let them race for the beginning because they know that this boy is not going to beat Russell. But Jabale cover racing, maybe to a certain point. I don't see it getting there, but because McLaren is going to be way ahead of all that. But yeah, it's not a balanced team, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, where else would they have gone on the grid?
I thought the IBRAHIM that Kimi is destined for more for
agenda kwevuruga. He's good. He's a good boy. Naye akaja. The pressure we carry, olaba naffe aba monitoring, ababera on the setup during an F1 race, we have pressure. But just look at the driver. And see your name to people have paid lots of money to come and watch. Kimi is going to be good, but not this season.
Okay, he needs
he needs time to
then Leclerc and Hamilton.
It is a very balanced team.
Most balanced team on the grid.
The most balanced team on the grid. Leclerc is quick. He's used to the car. Hamilton is one of the fastest drivers we have.
Was it the right decision to let go of Sainz and retain Leclerc?
perfect.
Okugamba signs agenda Williams, then Sigazono Hamilton are just stepping in because Hamilton agenda mu Ferrari. But the question was, ani gwajjawo? It ended up in the Charlie Carlos Sainz and Leclerc is in the team.
Leclerc mwana we waka. Hamilton is a brand. By all means, Carlos yali alina okugenda.
Naye Carlos Sainz, okay. That history,
Carlos is royalty. You can argue that
history
you can argue that Carlos Sainz is he's a royalty in terms of racing. So you can also argue it the other way. He had, I think, a very, very, very good season last season. Maybe he woke up
because of pressure. Because of pressure.
Maybe he was riding, but that is not the real Carlos. Me, I think he was lackluster. Taina gundi ye gama anti njagala win ye that vibe of that grit of that DNA of a champion probably is what has been lacking in him. But in terms of balance, I have my challenges with that team being balanced.
Right.
I don't see it. Ndaba wali onagenda kujja nti njagala munaana oli ajja nti njagala kulagako mbadde njagala bakumpe ndabe nange nga wenkulaga
Emma katono nnyo. Leclerc respects Hamilton as well as the Ferrari team. Hamilton is a brand of his own, so nze nsuubira era nga kyetuyinza okulabako before half season buli muntu agenda kusooka avuge, then we see the standings and start to see who we front for the constructors as well as the drivers championship.
Then team endala McLaren, that is Piastri and Lando to yogeddeko wano. I think that's also, I think to me it's the most balanced.
That's the most balanced.
That's
the most balanced.
Alonso ne Lance Stroll yogeddeko very unbalanced and IBRAHIM new I know buzibu.
Ne Lance. Era olaba quoting zimwe zibadde zijja mu groups ezimwe zetuwangalira nga simusanyufu. Lance aina relaxance eyo awumula nnyo because amanyi tewali ajja mugambako. But other drivers you see they have pressure because if you don't perform then you don't have a seat for the next season. That is why it's
then the other team we can look at is Alpine, that Pierre Gasly ne Dohan. I think Gasly is one of the drivers windows and maybe if he gets a much better car he can perform.
Alpine is going to perform this season. They have made changes. I watched their pre-season tests, but there is a gap between Gasly and Dohan.
Dohan is actually worried he might lose the seat even in the season.
If he doesn't,
Dohan might lose the seat to that guy. Is it there's a guy who is a reserve. For Alpine. He might lose that seat too.
Then to now Alex Albon, Carlos Sainz, Williams. So that move of Sainz from Ferrari to Williams. I think now Williams I'm welcoming with open arms, and Alex Albon playing hot and cold, but I think Sainz should prove it.
Sainz is going to be the backbone of Williams. Williams is expecting some good results. Tumuwe chance asembeze William okumpi nejja kubeera awo mu 7-8 tejja kujja eno wansi gye wali okwevuluga.
Then Kevin Magnussen yakola that move from fast to Sauber and it caused a lot of but Magnussen is one of those drivers abadde okugrid for a very long time. I think he can also prove in Sauber as well.
Magnussen agenda
because Haas are opting for Behrman ne Ocon, and you'd think maybe no batch balancing amoko and Behrman rest the Bamwa last season. We acquired his debut F1 debut. He put up a very good performance.
Good fight, and remember Haas is Ferrari.
That's his Ferrari.
Yeah, Haas is Ferrari. So Haas etegeka retirement here Hamilton. As Hamilton is departing from Ferrari, Behrman will be jumping into the seat and Leclerc will be the lead driver again. So ono mwana talina pressure. Ali mu kuvuga ayongere okuguma. Because yakugamba I could push the car, I could go faster, but all the drivers ahead of me were using their experience to keep me behind. So kati tumwagala asooka akule.
Okay. Okay, then Bruce also to of course now let's get into the race weekend. The weekend is Australia, Melbourne. What kind of race do you anticipate given the testings? Do the testings that can drivers replicate what they did in testing and even perform much better? Because testing, it was Carlos Sainz took the day, and Kimi was 7th, very good points from him. But one of the things that I think even now Max is the guy to beat. He's won the last couple of championships, I think since that one year 2021, and he's proved into I've carried out. It's one of the last championship last year. I've carried out. What kind of season do you think, and as we go into Australia this weekend?
I see of course the home guys performing well. I see Piastri performing well at home. Again, Abeda Waka. So I see him doing well, and also because they have the best baseline, McLaren. It's a street circuit, it works for them. So I see them performing well, and then I see Piastri winning.
The race.
Piastri or Lando winning the race. I see Mercedes there because the conditions in Australia around this time are okay for them. They will favor them. Fairly cool temperatures. It's hot, but fairly cool temperatures. So I think Bajak Kola very well. Mercedes will do well in terms of George Russell. Then maybe you can have between the Ferrari and Max having that fight for the last podium, either fourth or third. Yeah.
Ibrahim.
My take on Australia is based on what we had in the pre-test. The teams izo nazo nemmotoka tebazitumbula kumalayo buli omu kyalina. So it is the first race in the season. Buli omu agenda kusooka kati asumulule ku maanyi nga bw'atestinga n'ebipya. Remember, teams ezisinga obungi zirina completely different setup for the cars. However, McLaren is still in good position to take up. Red Bull egenda strugglinga esobola okujja in the second position, and Ferrari can take up. However, between Ferrari and Mercedes, now waliwo fight. Either all the 4 teams zisobola okubeera nga zituisinga positions. Red Bull erina drive omu agenda kwerwanako. Then Mercedes as well erina drive omu agenda kwerwanako.
Ferrari balina advantage.
Yes, Ferrari balina ba drivers babiri bonna kibooko. Then McLaren erina abaana ebagulumize ebakuzizza. Naye Lando muyinza omutamusegaza season ejja. Akonkaisiza.
Any rookie this season?
Best rookie this season for me might actually be Lawson, because he's in a better car than the other ones are. Anthony, we said Kimi might have issues with handling that beast. Naye Gundi Lawson might perform. In terms of the rookies, I say he might do very well.
Rookies Isaac Haja.
Mogondi, Adine Sonoda.
Yeah, Adine Sonado. Isaac is very brave, very, very aggressive, but very disciplined. So, ntunulira Isaac oyo kusobola okujja mu Rockies taking up. If not, Kimi has the possibility of taking, because ali mu beast nungi wanaba gihandolinze bulungi natagikuba biggo. Ajja kuba amalako.
Then still taking predictions from you guys. This season's champion, can Max defend it? Big ask.
Max does not defend his championship this season. I think I don't know who I'll give it to. For now, Naye Max does not defend.
You have how many drivers?
No, it's I prefer to work with facts and data. But I'm not giving it to Max for the season. But the constructors, I will easily say McLaren.
Defending it. Win driver this season?
Norris. Lando is in position of taking up the lead. Emotoka nungi.
Yeah.
Mwana muto. Naye emabega tuyinawo Leclerc jali emabega and George. However, we might see a surprise from Lewis because Ferrari did not give us its best in terms of the car in test.
Every team kept it.
Buli muntu alina kya hiding. Naye the fact that Lewis needs to prove, because he's the only driver who can discipline Max. And Max is like, you are too old. You can do nothing. So a fight where kati eyinza okulira mu bana abalala.
Then constructors?
Constructors, McLaren is still on top, but Ferrari is coming. So by any mistake, Ferrari will take it up.
Okay, any surprises left from last season?
Surprises from last season?
Anyone you expected, anyone that performed that you didn't expect to perform last season?
No. Not really. No, last season, that season yali boring. Banga try to manage Luis Avayo for Mercedes. So it was just a season that we said kale ketambule ne. There were no surprises for me per se. It was a normal season. Yeah.
Any Brian?
My surprise was Gasly. Pierre Gasly. Last season yatandika bubi. But towards the end, all the 5 last races, yasembera mu top 10. Yeah.
But Gasly yawangula race.
Yeah, yawangula race.
Esteban Ocon wakubi.
Exactly.
I mean, that's one of the races.
That is why Mutandeka.
And it's guys like he kept. I mean, after the article about the podium settings, the previously have interviews with Guru. Katwale seba yakagwa once. In fact, after COVID, by the way, outbreak of COVID, the interviews to call it once. Eli wa Guru mugende obugenzi kushima trophy and champion and everything. But Gasly, it's like he said. Bambos, I ever dreamt of this and that, it's something I didn't dream of because of the cream that I creamed, but cheesy. And even Ocon, I'm even meditating about retirement. I mean, this position with all these guys around me, but so don't take our performance. So, anyway, the rest is upon us this weekend. We'll definitely get back here on Monday. We'll put them Australia, Melbourne, but it should be 24 races on the calendar. By God willing, one will be down.
I also like that it's now a mandatory stop to stop for that boring race of Monaco. That's a beautiful thing. We appreciate that.
The street.
They have to make 2 stops now. Not they are always making 1 stop. So by the possession. So kat tuina intrigue inti bagena gatako 2 stops. So I love that about the coming Monaco. Yeah.
Then, as we depart, Ibra, about the strategies, the tire strategies. One of the things that had about Ferrari last season was their strategies. One, Varamo pits. They take long to make decisions into drivers coming into pits. McLaren much better for them. Red Bull same thing. If they don't improve on that, trust me, Hamilton going there won't bring a result unless they improve on their strategy, their tire strategies. And when do they call drivers into pits and when do they? By Nangazi, onboards. Okay, let's go to plan D, plan C, whatever you call it. We're not going to plan Q. Can it bag A to Z? Is go and go to call a combination A B.
Typical Italian.
This time round, we hope for the best for the Ferrari. Why? Hamilton is experienced. Amani when to inform that I need to change the tires, and on top of that, nimotoka yenyini ekubulira tire wear yo. However, the slight challenge is pit stop, which are slow. Ferrari. So there is need to quicken the pit stop. Red Bull in a pit stop enungi, McLaren in a pit stop enungi, and when to call the drivers in. However, tuliku fire this season.
Okay, that's all we've had for you guys. Any parting shots?
Parting shots, remember to subscribe to F1UG. F1UG is our member club. We pay 150 per year for the first year. Netusasula mitwalo 10 for the subsequent years. Come and join us. We are building the sport. We do our viewerships. Our sponsors, please allow me thank our sponsors who are still with us. Jubilee Alliance, Mountain Dew, Icon Lounge, our partnerships with Meraki, our partnerships with Luboa. Thank you very much. Wish you an awesome year. Our first race is happening next month. In the middle of the month, we are going to communicate. Please stay on our socials and follow.
Is there race viewing for this race?
There is race viewing for this race, but our socials, please follow our socials. We shall tell you exactly where we are going to be. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Ibrahim, any parting shots?
Yeah, first and foremost, njagala kwebaza management ya FUFA. Mwebale kutukyasa. Bingi betusobola okusharinga. We are working on a program tugenda kusomesa. Tugenda kusomesa mu karting. Tugenda kwagala okuleeta ba drivers abalungi. Tugenda kusomesa maintenance. We are going to teach people how to maintain these carts. So tukwatagane n'abakulu ba F1, UG, bajja kuba bantu kako nawo nina ayina kyayagala kyenne kikwatagana ne karting, F1 byonna gyebiri. Then nsaba mpisewo konekano n'abasajja bange ba international marshals. By the way, we have Ugandans who are doing international marshalling. Mu karting ne mu F1 we have them. Buying information ennungi. Some of them, they are doing the Champions of the Future Academy. Tuina Michael naye kwalioko yagambye dda nina okubeerawo nga ndaba international marshal Michael, we have Hillary, we have Abubakar, tuina bangi, we have Andrew. Buying information yonna. So kyengezaako okukola at this moment is to bring more people of my country. Because I have all the knowledge in terms of management. I can run the timing system of karting. I can run a race event. Manyi kyetutegeka kyetwetaaga. Then tusaba n'abazira kisaba asobola okukola ebintu ebyo bisoboka wano e Uganda. Abantu balina acres 5 wano eno mu Wakiso wa tusobola okuzimbako track yennyini. We can lobby for international races so long as we meet the FIA standards. Tumanyi wewe okuyita ne baani betutuukako. Ne tukireetako wano e Uganda.
Okay, you've been good. Thanks for watching, and you've been good company. We'll definitely get back next week. We're going to Fisa Kade. Emma, thanks.
You're welcome.
Tujja kudda ku Monday ero nabadde live kiri kimenye oti yangamba ikazi 5 yangamba ika 5 okukola tujja kudda ku Monday musube bulungi.